Greetings, fellow gamers. It is I, Alan, back again with I Dream of Indie to bring you a brand new review. I'm going to ask a hypothetical question and then immediately answer it. So what would you get if you crossed the dystopian science fiction, the likes of 1984, with the delightfully quirky atmosphere of Weird Al Yankovic's UHF? Well, my friends, you would have today's game, Not for Broadcast, developed by NotGames and published by tinyBuild.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
In this dystopian narrative-driven dark comedy, you take on the role of Alex, a custodian-turned-technical director, as you must navigate running the nightly news broadcast while trying to make heads and tails of the political revolution that is unfolding before you. Your every decision impacts public opinion, as well as your own family dynamic, as this narrative is entirely yours to tell. When it came to gameplay, this game broke down into two basic types, the television station and the choose-your-own-adventure narrative segments. Both have direct impact on each other, as depending on the decisions you make at either one, varying opportunities will unfold in the other. In between nights manning the control room, you have time with your family where the story of the game is expanded upon. You find out that the advanced party is confiscating wealth not just from the 1% as they promised, but from every business owner in the country. You are given a chance to help your brother seek asylum by giving him your passport, thus costing you money in the long run, or are you foregoing helping him and making yourself richer? You have another opportunity where you can allow your son to join this in-game's version of the brown shirts, or you can stand your ground and tell your son that you're not going to let him join and he'll understand why later. Each and every interaction further develops on the lore presented in the broadcast side, while allowing your player to explore the story in your own way. Speaking of lore, this extends even further, of course, within the broadcasts themselves. While running the nightly broadcast, you choose from which commercials to air, which camera shots to use, which celebrities' lives to ruin, and I had a lot of fun with that one, which images to display, and ultimately, you determine what the headlines are. Given that I do similar type of work in my day-to-day job, I found these segments especially enjoyable, even with how difficult and wild they can get. You have to balance timing on the camera, swapping between angles to match the content, while ensuring you hit your commercial breaks on time, as well as ensuring the signal interference doesn't ruin your broadcast. Each segment and each new night brings a variety of challenges, including censoring language for standards and practices, to fulfilling party propaganda by censoring naysayers, as well as trying not to be electrocuted. The way this game works is that every mistake you make adds up, and if you lose too many viewers during the broadcast, well my friends, you then lose the game. These gameplay segments are the bread and butter of this game, and they really help serve as a proxy for shaping and delivering the narrative. This game resembles something akin to Night Trap or Sewer Shark, like an old school FMV game, except in much higher quality. As you're frantically swapping camera feeds, queuing up videos or images, you are rewarded with hilariously and fantastically written news segments, commercials, and political satire, along the lines of something modern SNL wishes it could remotely resemble. Regardless of your political leanings, everyone is poked fun of here, and you'll find yourself losing simply because you're so engrossed in what's happening on screen that you forget to do your actual job. The game will even throw in the occasional musical segment from time to time, and man, those things are comedic gold. Heck, once you're done watching this review, look up Mr. Bear, What's That Over There, and you won't be disappointed. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. As you finish each nightly broadcast, or rather if you can master the controls and complete the nightly broadcast, you are given the option to review everything you've sent out to the viewing audience, allowing you to capture any hidden bits of lore you missed while running the show. This game is all about the journey, and the developers have done a fantastic job here making sure that you don't miss any bit of it. Now, I've said the controls take a bit to master and the game can be difficult. That being said though, the controls feel and function on an absolutely amazing level. Everything on screen can be controlled with your mouse, or even a controller. However, this game is best served with a mouse and keyboard. The camera feeds and pictures are controlled with the 1 to 4 keys, the censorship button is controlled with the spacebar, and your middle mouse button can help align the sine waves to maintain peak frequency. While the game is fast-paced and at times overwhelming, the controls are positioned to respond with complete fluidity. Accompanying the incredibly well-designed controls are the difficulty settings and modifiers. Not for Broadcast allows you to set the difficulty of literally everything. Is the frequency alignment messing you up, like it did me constantly? Well, you can turn it off. Do you need a little more grace with your camera edits so you don't lose the audience as quickly? Well, you can adjust the difficulty to make the game as easy or as hard as you like. There's even a story mode setting that ensures progression, because at the end of the day, this game is all about the journey, and accompanying the journey are unlockable extras that include bonus game content, as well as challenge room modes that allow you to play extra difficult challenges. This game also includes several dozen achievements and branching story paths, so replayability is clearly a given. Everything I experienced with the several hours I put into this game made me absolutely love this adventure. Not for broadcast as the right amount of dark and absurdist humor, with a control scheme that lends itself to ease of use, and an entire cast and crew of actors that took me back to the glory days when sketch comedy shows reigned supreme. And as someone who has experience in the broadcast field, as well as someone who just loves dark and absurdist humor, I applaud NotGames and tinyBuild for all the work they put into this game. This game truly does feel like it was a labor of love, and as such, I'm giving this game a Golden Genie Award, and I firmly recommend this to anyone interested.
Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to turn into despair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your dreams go to die.
I want to give a special thank you and shout out to our channel's supporters, our Indie Warriors. Bill T, Christian Cruz, Kevilo, Mitchell Hall, Chris Jackson, Nathan Moore, Adriana Amato, CJR, C-Coil, Skeptism, Haley, Julian Colbus, Jen Rose, Jesse, CPM, Bunny, JRSD8, Raylan, Marky Mint, Dave Harp, Peekaboo, Lex Noyle, and Eric. Thank you all for helping support our fight against the Echo Chamber. If you want to become an Indie Warrior, check out the description in the video.